Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Andreas, and a couple of friends asked me to do sessions or videos, YouTube videos in English, because mostly I work with German-speaking audiences. And this time I thought, well, actually, I really enjoy to connect with English speakers as well, or people from English-speaking countries. And in that sense, I enjoy joining in that one mind that God created, in that one love that God created, and what we all are as one, from a different standpoint, if you want to call it that way. If you want to call language or the medium of speech and the concepts and associations that are connected to the English language, and to broaden this moment based on these associations that you have with English sounds, English vocabulary, English grammar, and your participation in this, even if it doesn't really matter from which nation you believe to come. But if you're joining in this and you're open to connect in that seed of light, in that seed of love that we share in this moment, then you will find a completely different manner of expansion, or a different starting point of expansion within your own mind, simply because this is in English and not in German or French or Afrikaans or Bahasa Indonesia or whatever. So, why are we doing lesson 67? Why is there another video about lesson 67? There are hundreds and maybe thousands of this workbook lesson online already. And one reminder I can give myself and I can give to you is that it has never been done in this particular way. And this basically addresses that whatever your calling is, whatever you're called to do, whatever you're called to use for your inspiration, for your joy, for your expansion and your forgiveness work, be assured that even though hundreds or thousands have done it in a similar form, it has never been done in that form. And your contribution to do whatever you feel called to do is unique. And it can only be unique because no one can do it in the way that you do it. And it's essential for God's plan. So my encouragement for now is that trust your impetus, trust your calling, trust your intuitive voice, even though the mind might come in, or the ego mind might come in and say, well, hundreds or thousands or millions have done the same thing. I assure you that when you do the dishes today, that no one has ever done it the way you're doing the dishes. And not even yourself have done it in that particular way. So welcome to an experiment and to an awakening of your own mind to who you really are, with lesson 67 that has never been done and never been heard in this particular way. And it's a real pleasure and honor to join with you in this, because I'm absolutely certain that your awakening is my awakening, because there is only one awakening going on. And let's look at what lesson 67 says. It's not that it can really be repeated, because if we remember that there is only this time, there's only this moment, what could the other time be when you have heard this before? When have you ever really heard lesson 67 in the past? If lesson 67 can only occur now. And if A Course in Miracles is actually a present idea that's unfolding only now, never from the past to now towards the future, but a reminder from outside of space and time to reach you right here in your space-time belief, to actually undo this belief and to remind you that only the present moment is time and never an idea of sequential passing of events. So let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate that memory, and let's celebrate what lesson 67 actually says. And it says, love created me like itself. So when would that be? Yeah, when have you been created? Now. Yeah, when are you as you've been created? When are you love itself? It can only be now. You know, this is very reasonable. And there's a particular gateway, if you want to call it that way. It's a gateway where you say, okay, I look at these facts from a very conceptual point of view, or almost from a philosophical point of view. Love created me like itself. There is no time except this moment. So I am created now. And I am love itself now. So in that reasoning process that we both share now, there is enough light within the concept of your self-reflection that allows you to go deeper into your own self-reflectory concepts now that lead you into a present experience of the very fact that love created you like itself. And that there could actually never be anything else. So the training that we are sharing in this moment, the training of the workbook of A Course in Miracles, will not establish reality. It will not establish truth, because truth is already what truth is. So you are not responsible for making truth real, so to say. But what you are responsible for is your decision to align your mind again, so to realign your mind again with what truth really is. And that means it's an undoing of your process of a wish to establish reality. So your wish to establish reality basically crumbles. And what remains is, oh my God, I was wrong, I was mistaken in the idea that it is my task to define what reality is. And now I see, no, it's not a task at all. And for some, this is a very dramatic experience. And in the awakening process, this might feel very uncomfortable, as you surely know. But in these moments of undoing, in these moments of this is actually my death of who I believe to be, of what I believed is important to do, and what I remain with is myself with empty hands, is an idea that I cannot define anymore. I see that all my ideas are falling away, even the idea of love, whatever I believe love is. And I come into, well, almost like it is gentle, but it is uncompromising, which means that you have no choice in this. You will have to come with empty hands. And stand with me, because I'm with you always, in the present moment, and say, now I'm completely blank. I am void of my own ideas about myself, yet I am here, whatever I am really is. I'm here, I'm not gone, even though my ideas about myself are gone. And now we're in lesson 67. Love created me like itself. Today's idea is a complete and accurate statement of what you are. This is why you are the light of the world. This is why God appointed you as the world's savior. This is why the Son of God looks to you for his salvation. He is saved by what you are. The Son of God is saved by what you are. We will make every effort today to reach this truth about you and to realize fully, if only for a moment, that it is the truth. In the longer practice period, we will think about your reality and its wholly unchanged and unchangeable nature. We will begin by repeating this truth about you and then spend a few minutes adding some relevant thoughts, such as holiness created me holy, kindness created me kind, helpfulness created me helpful, perfection created me perfect, or peace created me peaceful, gentleness created me gentle. And add whatever you want to add to it to affirm to yourself emptiness of your own ideas about yourself in limitation, and to assure yourself of your unchangeable nature in present infinity, infinite characteristics that extend from this moment into eternity now, and allow you to collapse your timeline and to stand here. And again, you're not here alone. I'm with you. Jesus is with you. Your brother is with you. Everyone is with you right now. And you don't, don't be afraid of fear as it comes, where you realize that the world as you know it is actually transforming, changing, shifting in a way that reflects to you a brighter idea about yourself. Any attribute which is in accord with God as he defines himself is appropriate for use. We are trying today to undo your definition of God and replace it with his own. We are also trying to emphasize that you are part of his definition of himself. After you have gone over several such related thoughts, try to let all thoughts drop away for a brief preparatory interval, and then try to reach past all your images and preconceptions about yourself to the truth in you. If love created you like itself, this self must be in you, and somewhere in your mind it is there for you to find. And this is your yet another chance to find it. And the call, and this call is actually your call. You are calling yourself. Don't let this opportunity pass without using it. Like, oh, I've done lesson 67 already 20 times, or I'm new to this. I'm sure this won't work. This is my first time doing it. This moment is perfectly suitable for you to just think another thought. To just think another thought. Love created me like itself. Well, you're thinking anyway, so why not think a true thought? Why not use your thinking, your manner of thinking, to think something that gets you out of prison, that you have gladly arranged in a way that you feel comfortable within limitation, and say, hey, actually my comfort within hell is not real comfort. It's not the comfort of the Son of God. My comfort comes from who I really am. And my comfort comes from a reference, a light reference that I can only share right now, because there is no other time. Any idea to say, oh, I'm going to do this in the future, or I'm going to do this when it's more appropriate because right now I'm okay, or right now I'm so not okay, it's impossible for me to use a new thought. It's just a reflection of your resistance of actually using this thought. It's not painful. It's not dangerous to think a new thought right now. Love created me like itself. You may find it necessary to repeat the idea for today from time to time to replace distracting thoughts. You may also find that this is not sufficient and that you need to continue adding other thoughts related to the truth about yourself. Yet perhaps you will succeed in going past that and through the interval of thoughtlessness to the awareness of a blazing light in which you recognize yourself as love created you. Be confident that you will do much today to bring that awareness nearer, whether you feel you have succeeded or not. So go, 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 go. This is your celestial cheerleader. This is your motivator from heaven. It says, get your act together, practice. It will succeed. And you are already successful, whether you realize it or not. So keep on going, stick with it. It will be particularly helpful today to practice the idea for the day as often as you can. You need to hear the truth about yourself as frequently as possible. Let me repeat this. You need to hear the truth about yourself as frequently as possible. Who needs to hear this? This guy, the guy who can point his own nose. Yeah, this guy needs to hear this because there's only one mind hearing, there's only one mind awakening, and it can never be the other guy. It always needs to be here. All right. Because your mind is so preoccupied with false self-images 4 or 5 times an hour, and perhaps even more. It would be most beneficial to remind yourself that love created you like itself. Hear the truth about yourself in this. Try to realize in the shorter practice periods that this is not your tiny solitary voice that tells you this. This is the voice for God reminding you of your Father and of yourself. This is the voice of truth, replacing everything that the ego tells you about yourself with the simple truth about the Son of God. You were created by love like itself. You were created by love like itself. Okay, let's take a moment to join in this. And to let the entire world, which means your entire thought system, be completely replaced by a thought system of truth. See, whatever you think your path is in this, whatever you believe the process of awakening or remembering to be, we can shortcut this because we can recognize that all of these ideas are our own thoughts and they are thought without God. So God's voice that speaks to you and for you, for the Son of God, to the Son of God, to you, will always remind you that the time that you believe to take to awaken or to go through a process of undoing is not necessary, because the Son of God is now the Son of God. You are now that. And this isn't established through a mind training, because it's established by your creation. And the mind training basically just reminds you that you don't need the time. And although this may feel counterintuitive at first, because everything that feels intuitive is associated with time in our old paradigmal thinking, you are free to make a decision to rest in peace, which is life and love and not death, to rest in living peace now, and to rest in an idea that is not of yourself but for yourself, and share it with everyone that comes to your mind, because everyone is your reflection of self. And in that we can say, okay, here is my beginning, here's my moment where the words become less supportive, and I have found a reference that goes beyond words. And this reference is what I am attracted to, this reference beyond words, this reference that expands and assures me of my own healing and the healing of everyone, is what I feel drawn to. It's attractive. And in this attraction, I'm asked the question, and you are asked that question: what are you attracted to, and what is attracted? And the answer would be, oh my God, it's the same. I'm attracted to myself. And it's the real self. And even though you may remain for a moment longer in awareness or in perception, and therefore in a changeable nature of your own experience of yourself, you have found something, and you have made contact with something, a conscious contact with who you really are. And this is just a confirmation and a witness within your own dream of your singular mind that it's actually true. It's actually true that you are the Son of God. It's actually true that you are created like love itself, and that there is nothing to fear, and you have remembered that. So your function as the light of the world is just to expand this now, and any doubt or any fear or any blocks or resistances or desires or attachments or whatever all the toys that you may find within darkness have lost their appeal to you. And simply because you have allowed the seed of light to be there, and have refused to hide it again and to put it under a bushel and pretend that it's not there, or pretend it's not that big, or pretend that it's not so relevant right now. But you have recognized and acknowledged that the light that you are is actually there to shine, and it is not dangerous to do that. In that sense, we have forgiven Jesus for his teaching method of crucifixion. it was a necessary lesson, and the lesson was nothing happened. Yeah, the light was the light that he is and that he was back then, as he is now, was never interrupted. It wasn't killed. It didn't feel pain. And therefore, thank you. Thank you for saying, thank you for this lesson. It was a tough one. It took 2,000 years to learn. But now I learned that the crucifixion is actually really the last senseless journey. And in my awakening, in your awakening, there is no crucifixion that's waiting for you around the corner. Yeah, it's God is open. Your mind is open. You are what he is. Love is open. It doesn't come with punishment. In that sense, thank you very much for tuning in and for joining with me. And I would like to invite you to a festival. This is the festival 2019 from the 6th to the 10th of June, Pentecost, in Bad Meinberg, Germany. It's a Course in Miracles festival, and it's a celebration of your awakening with like-minded brothers and sisters, speakers, music, and 4 days of just throw yourself in, see where it takes you, and expand what you really are, let your mind be healed. Be in a surrounding that you can trust in, that you can relax, that you can just drop in and feel at home. And of course, to know that this is now, any place and any time. Thank you very much. I love you. God bless you. And I see you literally in this moment as the one mind. Thank you.